What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing today? And welcome back to another video here on the Sports Fanatic channel. Today, we got another tier list, and as you can see, probably based off the things, we are doing basically ranking every team, pretty much. This doesn't take very long to make, so I was thinking, screw it, why not get something quick out today? So let's just get into it straight without any strings attached. Okay, first up, we got the Titans. Okay, they're not a Super Bowl contender. Let me just get that straight. All right, right out of the bat. Okay, because they're not that good. They are probably. I'll put them in playoff team. They're decent. Derrick Henry's nice. AJ, my bad, Titans fans. Uh, Jalen Burks is good, maybe. I don't know. They're just a playoff team, but I think they're just a playoff team. They're not going to get any further than probably the second round. I don't know. I'm done believing in the Titans. I was hoping last season they'd be able to make a run, but nope. Get eliminated in the first round, second round, even though you sacked the other team's QB 9 times. That's pretty pathetic. Next up, we got the Dolphins playoff team. I think they're they're playoff caliber. I don't think they're just average. Because I feel like if they did make the playoffs, they could maybe get past the second round, unlike the Titans. That's how I'm basing my whether or not they could be a contender. Because the way I see it, and I spelled contender wrong. The way I see it, if you can make it to the championship, round, or you can make it to the actual Super Bowl itself, then I consider you a Super Bowl contender because, you're like one game away from the big game. So, yeah, now that that's fixed, they're a playoff team, though. I don't think they're anything higher than that. Jets, first overall pick material. They are very bad. Although I love their draft. Jermaine Johnson, Garrett Wilson, and I'm blanking the name. Ahmad Gardner, yeah. Ahmad Gardner. I don't know why I was blanking so much. He's very good. They're all very good, so should be cool. But not really going to be very good because still, missing a bunch of pieces on the Dolphins and defense. Next up, Bengals, hot take, playoff team. I think last year was lightning in a bottle. Call me a salty Steelers fan all you want. You're right, I absolutely am. I hate the Bengals right now, okay? Leave me alone. Next up, we got the Browns. Oh, crap. I'm going to talent-wise, probably a Super Bowl contender. But I'm going to put them in playoff team because Deshaun Watson's going to miss a good amount of time. And I don't know if they're even going to make the playoffs due to that. So I'm going to put them there. But, I think they're playoff team still. Jaguars, first overall pick material. Yeah, they literally just got the first overall pick. That speaks for itself. Next up, Lions. I think they're an average team, actually. I think this season they're going to be much improved. I'm not going to say too much because I actually want to save that for the NFC North predictions video because this is by far one of my most controversial teams and my most controversial takes for any team. I'm going to put them there in the average section. You'll see why when we get there in the predictions. Next up, we got the Vikings. Playoff team. I'd say they're a playoff team, yeah. Nothing more than that, though. Kirk Cousins can only take you so far, even though it's not really his fault. I think he's very overhated and underrated. Even though sometimes he does underperform. Every single QB does that. I didn't see Aaron Rodgers getting a lot of flack until barely last year. So, I don't think they should be any lower than that. Buccaneers, Super Bowl contender. I think they're going to be really good again. Yes, they lost Alex Kappa, I think, but they got Shaq Mason to replace him, so I think they'll be fine. It's Tom Brady. If Tom Brady's on your team, you're a Super Bowl contender automatically. 49ers, playoff team. I think they're a playoff team. Not by much. I'm going to leave them in playoff team for now. I might put them to average because I don't know. Debo, I don't know. I don't feel like they had a very good offseason, so I don't know. We'll just leave them there. Falcons, below average. Falcons are just, you could put them in average. I wouldn't mind. Last year they went, 7-10. So if you put them in average, that's fine, but I think they're below average. Their defense is very bad. Their offense, it could be maybe good with Drake London. I believe they got some wide receiver. I'm pretty sure it was Drake London. Plus, of course, they did lose Russell Gage also, now that I think about it, and probably Calvin Ridley too. So never mind. Their offense might not be that good, but it is what it is. I think they're below average. They're usually good enough to win at least 5 to 6, maybe sometimes 7 or more games. Ravens, I want to put them in Super Bowl contender. I really do, because unlike some teams on here, Browns and Bengals, as a Steelers fan, I respect the heck out of the Ravens a lot, but I'm going to put them in playoff team because Lamar Jackson has not gotten to the championship game yet. So, yeah, I'm going to put them over there. Bears, first overall pick material. They're terrible. I think they're going to be absolutely horrendous next season. They lost their 2 best players Darnell Mooney's great. I love him. I love David Montgomery too, and I hope Justin Fields succeeds. But the odds are not in their favor right now, so I'm going to put them at first overall pick material. They're pretty bad. Cowboys. I'm going to put them at playoff team. I really don't think they're that good, honestly. I don't, even though I think they're going to have a good regular season. I always think they're going to get bounced in the first round because their team just isn't built like that, I guess. I don't know what it is about them. But, yeah, I don't know. I just think they're just a normal playoff team. They're not really too special. Texans, probably expecting first overall pick material. I'm actually going to go below average here because I think the Texans have some potential a little bit next season. I think Davis Mills was the second best rookie quarterback in the class last season. Not that that means much, but I mean it means something. He did pretty decent. Brandon Cooks is there, of course. The defense is meh. That should be a little better with Derek Stingley Jr. I don't know. I just think they'll be a below average team. I don't think they're going to be first overall pick material, although I would not be surprised if they were there. Colts, playoff team. We got a lot of playoff caliber teams here. Yeah, they're a playoff team. I don't know. They're actually no. I'm gonna sleep them down to average. They could definitely make the playoffs, but I think if they did, they'd be bounced first round pretty easily. I think they're so limited over there with the wide receivers they have. Michael Pittman Jr. I love him, but other players that I used to have a lot of praise for, like Zach Pascal, have kind of fallen off. Still definitely a player you would want on your team, and he's decent, but he's not what I thought he was going to be from that one season he had. Rams, Super Bowl contender. They just won the Super Bowl. Not much more there. Chargers, I think they're Super Bowl contender. I think they're really good. I'm pretty sure that they're going to get to at least the third round. I think they're going to make it to the championship game this season. I think they're very good. Either them or the Broncos. You know, all the acquisitions they got, like Khalil Mack, you know, J.C. Jackson. That defense is going to be insane now. So I think they're going to be. I think they're Super Bowl contender right there with the Rams. Raiders, average. I wish I could put them in playoff team, but I think they're just average. They could make the playoffs for sure. I'm not saying they can't. I say they're average mainly because do they have an average team? No, they probably have a near playoff caliber team, but they play in a stacked AFC. So amongst those their AFC counterparts and things like that, I think they are average compared to those other teams. Like compared to the Chargers or the Broncos, I think they are an average team, and compared to some of the other top dogs in the AFC. So I think they're just average. And they have only had like one playoff season as of recent, so it's not like they have a winning culture like some other teams I'm going to put up there. So I'm going to have to put them in average for now. Washington, below average. Commanders are just whatever. I really don't care. I had such high hopes for them last season. I predicted them to go 10-7, and the Cowboys go 7-10. Yeah, that was one of the worst takes I ever made. Chase Young was also real quick. Just want to talk about that for a second. Why does everybody act like Chase Young is some superstar? Dude literally had like what 1 or 2 sacks before his injury last year, and he got injured like what week 10, week 9, maybe even week 8. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not gonna be good, but he was not having a good season last year, so I don't think him getting injured really affected them that much like everyone thinks they did. So just wanted to say that. Terry McLaurin's great too, and Antonio Gibson. And quarterback, I don't know. Carson Wentz is okay, but nothing more than that. Next up, we got the Chiefs playoff team. I don't think they're the Super Bowl contender. It's hard saying they're not a Super Bowl contender when you got Pat Mahomes on your team, but like, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. When I see a Super Bowl contender, I see teams that I could see as Super Bowl favorites, and that's what I see when I see Super Bowl contender. All of these playoff teams potentially could maybe win, but I see them more as just a playoff team. I don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're going to get past the second round, if they even make it out of the first. If they even make it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they're there. I'm not going to be blasphemous, so I'll put them in average. Next up, we got the Saints. I think they're extremely overrated, average. I think Jameis Winston's great, and I think that their team in general is very well orchestrated. But Tyrann Mathieu, especially if you look at the stats and watch him play, is definitely a decent safety, but he's not better than Marcus Williams right now. Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended. Michael Thomas, we don't know how he's going to come back. A lot of questions there. I just think they're average. They could be a playoff team. I wouldn't be surprised one bit, but I think they're just an average team. Next up, we got the Giants. Oh, I hate the Giants. They don't deserve my time. I hate the Giants. I'm sorry. Sorry, Giants fans, but I absolutely hate the freaking Giants. They're like my least favorite team in the entire NFL, just like the Jazz in the NBA. So, yeah. Next up, we got the Eagles, who I think is definitely a playoff caliber team, so I'm going to put them over there. I have them finishing, well, not going to spoil it, actually. I have them finishing somewhere similar to some other teams in their division. I'm sure you guys can guess who. They're just very solid. You know, they're good. I like the acquisitions they made. Of course, AJ Brown is an awesome pickup for them. That was a steal of a trade for them. So I really like what they did over the offseason, getting the players that they did and things like that. Hassan Reddick should be really nice to help with that pass rush. So playoff team for sure. Maybe Super Bowl contender if you really want to stretch it that far, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good. Oh, Steelers, great. Okay. You know what? If I'm gonna put the Raiders and the Colts in average, I have to put us in average too. I want to say we're a playoff team, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I want to. I really do, but I can't do it, bro. I'm sorry. I love them to death, and I think the offense is going to be explosive next season, but too many questions on the QB, too many rookies, too many young guys to prove, and not enough veteran leadership. Going to put them in average. Next up, Broncos, Super Bowl contender. We've been talking about it for years. If they get a Russell Wilson, if they got some superstar QB, we put them instantly there. I think they're there. Next up, very controversial one right here. Packers. Oh, average. Let me preface. For example, I have the Rams at 8 and 9. If you saw my predictions video already for the AFC West, if you didn't, go check that out. Yeah, that's average to me. Around 8 and 9, 9 and 8, maybe 10 and 7 if you want to stretch it. Depends on how hard your schedule is. That's average to me because that's just middle of the pack. That's decent. That's good, but not like insane. So and plus in this day and age, especially with how stacked certain conferences are, looking at the AFC, 10 and 7, 9 and 8, 8 and 9, all that stuff is not enough to make the playoffs. Well, definitely not 8 and 9, but 9 and 8, 10 and 7, not enough to make the playoffs. So I just think they're an average team, but it's just they lost so much and didn't gain enough, in my opinion, to make up for what they lost. So I'm gonna put them in average, but that might be a hot take, and it probably is, you know. But Aaron Rodgers, man, like all he does is play good in the regular season. We've seen it time and time again now. It's starting to become a very bad pattern for him. So I'm gonna have to put them in average, even though they do have the back-to-back MVP. It's like with the Mavericks, for example. Their team is decent, but Luka is the main reason that they're at the place that they're at right now in the playoffs right now in the NBA. So I look at the Packers. I think the exact same thing. Panthers, first overall pick material. Actually, that's a bit harsh, but I think it's true because I saw their schedule and their schedule is not the easiest. So I'm gonna put them over there because they don't have a QB. Their QB situation is like by far the worst in the entire league. So, yeah, and they have weapons. They have Christian McCaffrey if he can stay healthy. Robbie Anderson if he can play good again. DJ Moore, but they don't have a QB. Their defense is good, though. Cardinals, average. I think they're just an average team. They're fine. You know, they lost some players, things like that. Mainly DeAndre Hopkins for suspension. They gained Marquise Brown, but he's not going to be able to stop that production. They lost Christian Kirk as well. Chase Edmonds. You know, they're fine. They're solid, I guess. They drafted Ian McBride, I believe his name is, the tight end. But they already have Zach Ertz, but it should still make a nice little tight end duo. So I like it. I like what they're doing over there in Arizona in terms of building and drafting and stuff like that. But I don't know. Lost some really key pieces like DeAndre Hopkins for a long time, so I'm gonna have to put them there. Bills, Super Bowl contender. I'm not gonna say who my Super Bowl pick is, but right now I think they're probably my favorites, but I don't actually have a pick yet. I'm thinking about until when week 1 comes is when I'll have my answer for early predictions. But for now, I don't know who I'm gonna pick yet. I think at the moment I'll lean towards the Bills. They're absolutely insane. Von Miller, of course, is great. They got him. They drafted James Cook. Jamison Crowder, in my opinion, is a very underrated wide receiver. So I like what they did over there in the offseason. 2 more teams left. We got, of course, Super Bowl, the 1 yard line, the 1 yard line teams. Patriots and Seahawks. Seahawks, yeah, their first overall pick material. No, they're not very good. Also, real quick, I'm gonna move the lines down here. We'll get into that after we're done with the Patriots. The Seahawks, they're just very bad. They lost Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, basically all their pieces that they had, they lost. They're relying on Drew Lock or Geno Smith. One of the two. Lost Gerald Everett as well. So, yeah, they kind of lost a lot of their skill position players. So, they're in a pretty bad spot. Patriots, average. They lost a lot this offseason, and they didn't gain enough, in my opinion. Cole Strange is a good player, but was not worthy of being a first-round pick. Andrew Stuber should be solid. I think he's underrated as well, as being selected in the 7th round. But yeah, I don't know. They're not very good to me. They're decent, and they play in the AFC East with the Dolphins and the Bills, so I think they're both superior teams to them. So I think it's kind of tough to put them in the playoff team with those other teams. There's only so many playoff teams. We got like what? How many do we have in a year? 9, 6, 9, 10. We got 10 playoff teams and 5 contenders. So yeah, one of those teams isn't going to make it, obviously. All right. Before we end the video, we got to talk about the Lions because I moved them from average to below average. And the reason I say that is because I'm just going to spoiler alert. I think they're going around the 7-win mark because I looked at their schedule. They have a very easy schedule. I'm looking around the 7-win mark for the Lions. But the reason I still keep them in below average is because I don't have them beating any good teams. Most of the teams they play against are like the Jets, Jags, Bears twice, things like that. There's some very bad teams that they, I don't know, like, I don't know, they're bad teams. They're teams they should be able to beat. Because the Lions had a good offseason. DJ Chark, Aiden Hutchinson, of course, and things like that. It really helps you, elevate you a lot. Jameson Williams as well. So I expect them to be better, but I can't put them in the average tier yet because I don't know if they're capable of beating those good teams. And that's the tough thing that I struggle with because average teams I feel like can sometimes beat those teams, but most of the time not. I feel like the Lions would never be able to beat those good teams at the spot they're at right now, but I feel like they're just a year or two away, maybe 3. So that's my thing with that. And with that being said, that is the tier list. Let me know what y'all think about this tier list. If you agree with it, what do you disagree with? What do you agree with? Where would you put everything around? And yeah, that's it. Just want to remind y'all to like and subscribe, please. All the support matters a lot. Helps me out, helps me get off my feet, things like that. So really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and peace.